Having a lot of rupees is an essential part of Tears of the Kingdom, especially if you're wanting to get some of the awesome armor that's in the game. And like most things in life, it does require a lot of hard work and time in order to get that. But in this video, I want to give you a few tricks on how to get money faster and a lot easier, as well as some of the best methods to make money in this game. Playing Breath of the Wild, my go-to method of making money was to spam cook 5 apples at a time, thanks to my wife Ashley showing me this trick. And realistically, that's an amazing way to make money in Tears of the Kingdom 2. Unfortunately, the price for simmered fruit you get when cooking 5 apples together dropped down to 27 rupees in this game after being 50 rupees in Breath of the Wild, but it's still a surefire way to make quick money. Apples are located all throughout Hyrule, but there is an apple orchard that you can go to get a lot of apples at once. This apple orchard will let you get over 100 apples at a time to cook the simmered fruit to sell. This results in a large chunk of rupees all at once. The orchard is located near Satori Mountain, right in front of the Sonapan Shrine. When you go here, you can chop down all the trees to collect the apples, shoot the apples with arrows, climb the trees to get them, or do the easiest way I've found, and that is using auto build to get them fast. If you don't have auto build yet, it is the last ability you will get, and I definitely say it's worth it, so if you don't have it, I definitely recommend getting it. To get it, you have to start your second quest with Joshua at Lookout Landing after getting the camera ability quest. Just go to where you took the picture of the statue in the depths, follow the way the statues are pointing, and it will lead you to the Great Abandoned Central Mine. The exact coordinates are -0781, -1886, -0523. Once you have auto build, there is a little trick you can use to help you get the apples at the orchard, or really anywhere. Take however many apples you want out of your inventory, stick them together with Ultra Hand, then use auto build to set this build as one of your favorites. Now, when you're at the orchard, use the auto build you just created and favorited to grab all of the apples in the surrounding trees to you. Then take all of the apples for yourself. Now, be mindful that you don't accidentally use the Zonite, because if your auto build favorite was with 15 apples, but there's only 7 apples left, if you click A to build, it will then take your Zonite to finish the rest of the build. Instead, just let all of the apples come to you that are left, lower them to the ground, and then click B to collect them. And boom, this just saved you a ton of time as well as weapons. That way you don't have to cut down a bunch of trees and waste your weapon durability and your time. Once you obtain all these apples, take them back to any pot you want. Personally, I always go to Kakariko Village or Hateno Village, cook the 5 apples, then get all of your simmered fruit, take them anywhere you want to sell them, and because you've made simmered fruit dishes, you just made somewhere around 700 plus rupees at one time. You can see here I started with 949 total rupees, started with 0 apples and obtained 151 total from this orchard alone, cooked all the apples and made 30 simmered fruit total, and ended up with 1,759 rupees at the end, meaning I made 810 rupees profit from this apple orchard alone. And that's only selling the red apples, not the golden apples. You can create a separate auto build for golden apples and get even more. And all in all, this takes around 10 minutes or so if you already have auto build, so I definitely say it's worth it. It's no secret that Tears of the Kingdom has pushed the cave exploration as well as the depths exploration. And this is really a good thing if you're wanting to make money, because mining and selling ore is an amazing way to make great money in the game. Diamonds sell for 500 rupees a piece, sapphire sells for 150 rupees a piece, rubies sell for 110 rupees a piece, topaz sells for 80 rupees a piece, opal sells for 30 rupees a piece, amber sells for 10 rupees a piece, and luminous stones sell for 20 rupees a piece. But we'll talk more about how to make better use of these luminous stones here in a minute. There are multiple ways to get these ore and luminous stones, be it from completing shrines or doing side quests, which are things you're probably already doing. But one thing to be sure that you are doing is finding these ore deposits scattered throughout Hyrule, as well as in the caves and the wells. Ore deposits are black rocks that sparkle, while luminous stones come from the glowing blue rocks you see. When you find one of either, use a crusher weapon or a weapon with a rock fuse to it and bust it open to get the ore inside. Some ore is more rare to get. For example, the diamond is way more rare than the opal. Additional to just exploring caves and wells to get ore, you can also fight the stone taluses and battle taluses to get them as well. These taluses are fit with ore deposits on their back, and if you can find a way to hit those, you're sure to win without very much effort. As you hit the ore deposits on their back, they will drop ore as you hit them, and then once defeated, you will get all sorts of good ore and a talus heart you can fuse to your weapon. The more you explore, odds are you'll get tons of ore that you can sell. And speaking of selling ore, there is an NPC that does buy your ore for 20% more than anybody else does in Hyrule, and her name is Ramela. In order for you to be able to sell ore to Ramela, you have to first talk to the 2 Gorons at the gate of Goron City. When you do this, they're going to try to buy all of your ore for 3 rupees, aka rip you off. But you do have to say yes, and then Ramela will appear and put a stop to it. She then says she's looking for 10 amber. So if you have 10 amber, then give them to her, and after that, she tells you that she's looking for for 10 topaz. And that's really the kick here. You have to have 10 of each ore in order for her to buy them from you, but she does buy them for 20% more, so it is well worth it, especially if you're going on a mining adventure. And while we're on the topic of ore, there is sort of a way to farm ore while you're playing the game. And that is with these creatures new to Tears of the Kingdom called Dondons. There's a group of Dondons near Lakeside Stable, which is located at the southeast of Hyrule in the Faron region. The best way to get here is to teleport to the Jojo UU shrine and glide to the Bronus forest, and if it's dark, you'll see the Dondons glowing. They're really not very hard to get to. The exact coordinates are 1540, -3348, and 0058. If you try to take the ore from the table here, Simma says you can't because she dropped luminous stones, and then the Dondons made these ores after they had eaten the luminous stones. Talk to her more and she'll tell you about how Zelda discovered these Dondons and how they're gentle. Lay a luminous stone in front of all the Dondons and let them eat them. Travel away from them, wait 10 to 15 minutes, and come back to see that they have pooped out ore for you. And this is something that you can do periodically as you're playing the game. If you're having an hour or two session, go feed the Dondons some luminous stones that you have, go and do some other things in the game, and then go back and get the ore that they drop for you. This is a surefire way to have some awesome ore to be able to sell and make tons of money. Animals are plenteous in this game, and really you can use them to your advantage. Not only are they super useful in your recipes for battle and healing, but their food can also sell for a super high price. Cooking 5 normal meat to create a meat skewer sells for 72 rupees, 5 raw prime meat cooked sells for 135 rupees, and 5 raw gourmet meat cooked together sells for 315 rupees. You can really kill any animal in this game in order to get meat, and you can also really hunt anywhere. But what we're after is the raw gourmet meat as well as the raw prime meat. Moose, bear, and wolves are 3 animals that drop these kinds of meat, and the best place to hunt for these is north of the Tabantha Tundra. You can get here by fast traveling to the shrine near the Snowfield Stable and head north from there. Be sure to have cold resistant gear before doing this though. Obviously you know that you can kill animals with bow and arrow or your sword, but sometimes that can get a little tedious as well as use up your materials. To save on this whenever you really want to grind out some hunting, take out your horse from the Snowfield Stable. You can actually use this horse to run over these animals and kill them to get the meat. When riding here though, be careful of the Gleeok flying around. And if you don't have a horse, you can get one here as there is a bunch of horses just hanging out right here. And also this is where a golden horse is for the quest back at the stable. Now that you're here, just run over the animals you're wanting to hunt in full sprint on your horse, but make sure to jump off of the horse before the meat freezes in the cold in order for this to work the best way. Also, if you do run over an animal and it doesn't kill it the first try, just jump off, have Link jump in the air, and then use your bow and you'll go in slow motion and be able to kill these animals with no problem. Take all the meat you gather to a cooking pot, cook 5 of the same meat type together, and sell for a huge profit. And really this is a great way to hunt anywhere because you're not using any weapons or arrows or bows, you're just running over them with your horse. And just playing the game, you'll find that doing some other small things will grant you some small chunks of change that do add up as well. Some side quests can grant you with some rupees. Even if it's not a lot, the side quests are fun, and you won't hear me complaining about having more rupees at the end of the day. You can also attack the bloopies that lead you to caves on the map in Hyrule. You get some rupees for attacking the bloopies, and then while you're in the cave, you get ore deposits that you can sell and make even more rupees. So really it's just a win-win-win all around. And while you are exploring Hyrule and hunting, you probably have acquired some monster parts and specific bugs and frogs throughout the map. Stuff like the sunset firefly or hot-footed frog cooked with monster parts will result in an elixir. The better the ingredients you cook, the better the elixir you will get. And this ultimately results in the more money you will get from selling them as well. Anything with a status effect typically results in a high price for an elixir. And since you're going to be cooking a lot, cooking up the meat and the apples, you may as well cook up some elixirs while you're at it. You'll also see someone else while you're exploring, named Addison. He's standing all throughout the map holding up a sign for President Hudson, and he won't let go no matter what. That is until you support his sign so that he can hold it and fix it so he doesn't have to stand and hold it the whole time. These are scattered all throughout the game, and truthfully, they're not that hard to complete. There's always provided materials around, just use them in some way to support his sign, and once his sign is supported, his text above him will say that it's still standing, then talk to him again, and this gives you 20 rupees every single time, as well as a meal and something else. Anytime you see him, just do these super quick and you'll get 20 rupees and a meal that you could either use or sell. There's really no point in passing this up. And our final way to make money on this list is the easiest by far, but it does involve Amiibo. Ashley and I have collected a ton of Amiibo since Breath of the Wild, and this has really proven useful for Tears of the Kingdom. Scanning these Amiibo will give you some of these special ore materials as well as tons of meat and fish. You can scan these Amiibo once a day and you'll really see the benefit of it if you do that. Obviously, you guys know by now that selling cooked meat as well as ore results in a lot of money, and this is just a quicker way to get them so you don't have to hunt or go around and find them. For example, scanning the Wolf Link Amiibo will give you tons of meat in order for you to cook and sell. Not only do they give you that stuff, but they'll also give you amazing weapons and gear sometimes. It's all RNG, but scan it enough and you'll see that it is well worth it, and it does add up. Now, one thing to mention, there are some clothing items that you can get from scanning Amiibo that you can also get by just exploring places in the game like the depths without the Amiibo. So if you're up for it, you can sell a piece of gear that you get from an Amiibo for like 600 rupees a piece and then find the same item somewhere else on the map. And some things, if you do accidentally sell and decide you don't want to go find it, CC and Hatino Village will let you buy it back, but it is a lot more expensive. Now, there is a little trick with Amiibo. It's not a hack or anything, but I understand that some of you guys won't want to do this, so that's why I made it last on this list. And if you've played Animal Crossing New Horizons, you may know where I'm going with this. You can scan your Amiibo once a day, but luckily the Switch allows you to change the date of your Switch anytime you want. So if you want, and if you don't feel like it's too much of cheating the game, you can scan your Amiibo, get all of the rewards for it, then go into your system settings, change your Switch's date, go back into Tears of the Kingdom, and scan the Amiibo again. This will allow you to get tons of weapon, gear, meat, all at one time without having to wait days in between. You can even switch back to the correct date once you're done, and it'll save everything that you've gotten even if you've time traveled into the future 10 days ahead. And you can also scan your Amiibo again once you set it back to the correct date. I understand that one may be cheating the game a whole lot, so if you don't want to do that one, I totally get it, but it is available if you do. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button and also subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to check out my other Tears of the Kingdom videos right here. You guys have an amazing day and God bless.